Good morning. Good morning, everyone. And I really appreciate your time today in particular, because I know there's lots going on and will be over the next few days, which have got far more importance than I have. But on the other hand, I have to say that it probably is going to be going repeated and repeated and repeated. And the good thing is, if you weren't able to be with me live, this can be repeated and repeated and repeated. So it's a win-win, isn't it? So first of all, let me just quickly tell you, for those that follow me regularly, I wasn't around last week because I was at my youngest son's wedding, which was in Merton College in Oxford. It was the best wedding ever until the next one. No, it really was. It was very, very special. It was a perfect day. The weather was superb. Just what we wanted, not too hot, not too cold, you know, that sort of thing. And we all had a wonderful time. So I don't have any photographs because we weren't allowed to photographs inside. I do have one or two of just the family, but we'll wait till the official ones come for that. But it really was a very, very lovely time. So I'm going to make a couple of cards today, which are actually kind of Christmassy, but I'm going to do one as a Christmas and one as well, sort of a Christmas. Not a Christmas really. There are a lot of people that don't, shall we say, do Christmas, but it's still nice, I think, to just say happy season or something like that. So I have got two new stamps from Nellie Snellen. This is one of them. This is called Icy Tree by Nellies Snellen, and I've also got the tree house with the little bird on. Now both of them are in the Christmas selection for Nellies Snellen, but however I think that they, oh gosh, sorry, the light's flashing off of them. I think that they work really well for an any day. So I'm going to make two very quick cards for you, and then you can go and watch the next 6 hours on telly. Oh golly. Right, so I have got a 6x6 card. To be fair, it's 5 3/4 by 5 3/4, and I am going to be using Distress inks, which are here. I'm going to be using Stormy Sky and Peeled paint, and I'm going to it's a flat card. All I've done is inked on it, so it's a good one for sending as well. And I'm going to be using obviously my stamping platform, so I'm going to bring that in now, and I'm going to be using one of the stencils that we have for the platform. So this is from a couple of years ago now. We brought out these lovely stencils with the apertures, which go really, really well with the platform because they are made to go in there. So when they are out, you could use them as a standalone, but they have got this little corner here, which slots into the corner here of the Press to Impress stamping platform, and therefore it fits in really well. You almost don't need any magnets or anything to hold it in place because it's there. We're going to create the picture for it. So I'm going to take my blank card, my 5 3/4, and as you can see, if I was to pop that up in the corner, which is what I'd normally do, my aperture would not be in the right place. So what I'm simply going to do is, you can clearly see it through there, and I'm just going to line that up. I'm going to turn it over. I'm going to take a couple of bits of tape and tape that to the back of my card. And this is purely because I'm stamping straight on, or colouring straight on to my card. I wouldn't need to do that ordinarily. Now, did move a little bit, didn't it, whilst I was nattering away. So let's just get that back into place like that. So pop that into place, and then I can put my magnetic magnets to put that on there. So I don't want to make it into a proper scene as such, so I'm not going to be too precious with the colouring, but neither do I want to make it into just one colour. So I'm going to make it into a sort of a, not really a Christmassy look, because it's kind of like an any day look. So I'm taking a finger dauber and I'm taking the Distressed Oxide because it's creamier and moves round better for me. And I'm going to start off on the outside onto this stencil and then just bring this in. And I'm going to be doing more or less half and half. So I'm just bringing it in. You can see that there's still lots of ink left on the stencil. So I'm just bringing that in to approximately halfway. And then just bringing this one in as well. And I'm going around in sort of swirly movements because of the way that this is going to be designed, but not necessary to do exactly what I'm doing there. Now I'm not going to blend it so that it is a complete solid, because I want again to be a bit of movement there. And I'm going to take the Stormy Sky, because that's kind of like a nice sky colour, and I'm going to do exactly the same, but I'm coming in from this way now and blending it in. And again with this one, we almost, because we don't want to blend it too well, we're almost giving it a look of it being a sky with some sort of white fluffy clouds in there. So I'm just wanting to now define my edges by bringing in the ink and making just those edges sharper, like so. And I'm not going to do any more to that. It's not blended completely, and that's the whole idea. We don't want it to be blended completely. So I'm just going to take that off and unstick from the back. And you can see now that I've got my background there of my card. So I'm then going to hold that down, and now I'm going to move it into the position that I'm always far happier with, which is up into the top corner of my stamping platform. And I'm going to take hold of my stamp, and I'm going to get myself, if I can find it, one of my clear stamp templates. The reason being that I've been using this ink all morning and I don't want to get it in the wrong place. I want to protect my work a little bit. So I'm going to pop that over the top just to protect it whilst I position this. So I'm going to position it into this corner. And if you can see, the stamp itself will overhang slightly, but it is more or less the right shape for it otherwise. So I'm going to bring that down and pick that up. And then I can get rid of that. Don't need that again for the moment. But you can see then that it protected this and I haven't got any ink on it whatsoever. I'm then going to take my VersaFine in Onyx Black for the contrast. And I'm simply going to ink that up. And then, whoops, press that over. Now you may want to do it a second time, but I think it's come out pretty wonderful. So I'm not going to do it a second time. I'm going to take that one off and put that back onto my stamp there. And for this one, I'm going to use the sentiment from Julie Hickey Designs, which I'm going to use, wishing you the most wonderful birthday. Enjoy. Again, I'm going to cover that over so that I can get it into place without possibly ruining it. I can also use the lines on my clear stamp plate to make sure it's straight. Pick it up, ink it up, and press that down. So this is the Icy Tree. And how come it's icy, and how can we possibly make that look just a little bit more interesting? So I think that this sort of thing is ideal for anyone that might have a birthday that's around the Christmas time or a winter birthday. And how often do you get to birthdays around the Christmas time and find that you haven't got anything and it's only Christmas cards that you can get? However, it's quite nice to make it a little bit different. So I'm going to get my white pen, and if you look carefully at your design, you'll be able to see that there are some icy branches that are supposed to be dripping down. I'm going to turn it around so I don't want to get my fingers all over there. So I'm just, wherever there is an icicle, which is here as well, just popping in a little bit of white, and then along here, I just want to protect that a bit. We can put a bit of white lines here as well, because we've got, this is where the ice is on the picture. So you can look at your picture and follow. So again, you don't need to pick out the ice and snow and whatever, but it just makes a winter card. And I know it's not really feeling very wintry at the moment, thank goodness, but it just brings this into a slightly different way of doing. So there is a winter wonderful card with the icy tree. Now I'm going to change over and do the other one. So it's going to be done in exactly the same way. So I'm going to take in my stamping platform. I'm going to pop my stencil into place, and then I'm going to take my other white card, which is the same size, 6 by 6. You can obviously put this stencil onto any card, as long as you can pop that in the middle. Oh, can't get that off, thought it was going to be clever there. And I'm just going to pop that into place there, and then see if we've got it about right. Yeah, I reckon we have. So just tape that down. And again, you don't have to tape it down. If I was doing it on my own, I have to say I probably wouldn't tape it down. And I've taped it in just the wrong position, really. So let's, I'm just looking at it sort of coming from behind and just trying to get it into the centre. That's better. So popping that into place, taking my magnets, holding that, and then I'm just going to make up my background again in exactly the same way, bearing in mind you have already got a little bit possibly of excess of the ink that you were using still left on here. So I'm going to use the same colour inks, and I'm going to bring this in. You could use a blending brush, but that's not necessary. You can use your sponge daubers, you can use your other little ink blending tools just to bring this in. You could use your distress inks or other inks. I like the way that these are blendable, so they blend really, really well. So that's what I'm going for today. And as I said, it's Peeled Paint for the green and Stormy Sky for the blue. And I'm just making this as if it is sort of a landscape, shall we say. So you could do it all in one colour, all in blue, or shades of blue. If you fancied having a sunset behind it, you could have the sunset colours. And I'm not being too precious because I don't want it to look as if I have tried very hard, because once you put your colours over it, your inked image over it, you kind of just don't see possibly any flaws that was on there. So that's all our colouring done. As you could see, it was nothing difficult, nothing super strange or anything. Well, I don't think it was anyway. So remove my stencil, take off my bits of tape, and we've got that lovely Stormy Sky looking image. And then I'm going to, now this, I don't need my clear template because this is a new stamp. So I'm going to open this one up. And as I said, this one is called Nesting Box with Birds. That just makes me smile. They don't waste their time, do they, this company, in thinking, what shall we call this one? Shall we call this one, oh, I don't know, winter something or other? No, let's just call it what it is, Nesting Box with a Bird. It says it, doesn't it? So I'm going to put that in. It's a lovely shape for this square one, in as much as it falls over the edge in all of the places, which I think looks really lovely. So I'm just going to hold that into place, pick that up, and again with the Versa Fine in the onyx black. Now this is the first time that I have used this stamp, so I'm not 100% sure whether we might need to do it a second time, but I have to say that the quality of these stamps is such that, yes, that's lovely, isn't it? Really, really lovely. I'm going to take that one off, and then I've teamed that with some, well, I think I am going to do such a thing anyway. Teamed it with some of the new Woodware Christmas sentiments. And the reason why I've teamed it with that is because this one in particular, let me show you, hold on. Need a bit of white card behind it so that you can see it. I've teamed it in particular because I think for those people who don't necessarily celebrate Christmas as such, but maybe you would still like to just say, I'm thinking about you at this time of the year, I think they've got some nice sentiments on there. And this one is the one that I'm thinking about, which says, wishing you all the joys of the season and every happiness throughout the coming year, which doesn't say anything about Christmas. And I think that's rather nice. So I am going to set up this little one onto here, like so. And I'm going to use my VersaFine Onyx Black again. And again, it is only the first time I've used this stamp, so it might not go in one. But it did. Oh, I like that. It's a good job I'm only talking to myself, isn't it, eh? I do like that. So let me pop that onto there. And again, because it's a Christmassy one, and because if you look at the picture on there, you can see that there is a lot of area that could have white on it. I am going to take my pen again, and I am going to add, I don't want to get white on, black on it. So I'm going to add a little bit here. Just where we think there might be a little bit white. It just makes it pop just that much more. Don't need to be over with the white. You could do, I mean, if you wanted, you could get some of the fluffy stuff, well, not stuff, the heat activated snow. You could put that on there. But I have to say, it could be a little bit thick and you could end up with masking and not being able to see all the lovely detail that this would give. So I'm just taking my white pen and just putting a little bit of extra snow onto there where there is snow. Okay, and I'm being very careful, hopefully I'll not get my hand on it. I'm just putting that in. Try not to get carried away because I do love that. I don't know which one I like best now. Which one do you like best? I just think they're, again, if you know, maybe if you're sending your cards away, obviously you can change your sentiment. You can have something that is, you know, just Merry Christmas or something. But if you are sending your cards abroad or something, it's possibly a really good one because it's very, very flat. I'm not going to put any more snow. I could get carried away, couldn't I? So here are my 2 cards. So they are done in exactly the same format. We've got the stencil that we've used with the stamping, stamped and press platform. We've coloured that with 2 inks, which is the, oh, you can't see. You cannot see. There we are. With the Stormy Sky in Distress ink and Peeled paint, again in distress oxides, I should say. It is my preference for this technique. It's not necessarily what you might want to use. You may well have many other inks that are good blending inks and many different colours, and different colours that you might like as well. So we've got those, we've done our backgrounds, and then we have simply taken our, I've got to put some more snow on here. I've simply taken my 2 new Nellie Snellen stamps and made one into a Christmas card. Hold on, doesn't want to work. One into a Christmas card and one into more of a birthday card for people that have got maybe a birthday in the winter. You could, on this one, you could actually not colour in the snow and then it would just look ordinarily. I do think the white pen did that on some stamps a little while ago, some of the pink ink, I think. And I do think that just sort of kind of finishes it off. There's a possibility now I am going to get carried away. That's better, I think, don't you? So putting a little bit extra white on there. So just again, where it shows that there's snow on here is where I've put it. I haven't really put it anywhere where it isn't. But I think we'll put a little bit of that. I'm going to stop. The pen that I'm using is a Signo pen. Oh, Uniball Signo. Don't think I've got any more in stock, to be honest. But you can get it on Amazon or somewhere. But yeah, this one is a Uniball Signo, and the length, no, that's not the word, the whatever size, shape, I'm not quite sure, is broad. So you can get broad, medium and fine. And when you want to do something like this, I prefer the broad one as opposed to the fine because it's just a bit too fine. So there we are. There are my 2 cards for you for today. As I said, I do appreciate your time today. I know it is a very difficult time. I did speak about it on the Facebook page, but I have to say, the death of, or the sudden death. I mean, we all knew that at 96, nobody goes on forever, but the sudden death of the Queen was profoundly changing to me. I really was surprised at how much I felt about it and still do. And so for that reason, I appreciate even more the fact that you're with me today, because I know there's lots of other things going on. But as somebody said to me yesterday, you know, craft is often something that we turn to, us crafters, for a kind of like get away from it all and think about something else for an hour or 2. And so that's why I decided that we would go ahead as usual. I will be back on Wednesday this week, which is Wednesday the 17th, is it? No, it's not. Wednesday the 14th even, where we'll be doing the new launch, 72 hours on. So that's on Wednesday at 6 o'clock. And then Sunday next week, we will be back, and that will be the launch of the Maximum Craft card kit. As always, all of the YouTube videos will always be available under the Maximum Crafts umbrella on that channel. So do go and look. I think there's about 500 or more, possibly. on there, because there's 2 new ones every week. So there must be more than 500, mustn't there? Gosh, there must be hundreds. So you can look round and see for inspiration. If you can, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then you will get extra notifications when I'm going to be doing something else. But it's nearly always Wednesdays now at 6 o'clock in the evening UK time, and Sundays at 11 o'clock in the morning, again UK time, but always available at any time for you to go back to with reference. So take care, everyone. Have a lovely day, and I will see you very, very soon. Take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.